So today I'm going to show you how to graph rational functions. So we're going to start out with our function, which is f at x equals 4x plus 10 over 6x minus 18. So we're going to start by finding our x and y intercepts. So to find our y-intercept, we're going to take our whole function and set it equal to f at 0. So I'm just going to write that down. F at 0 equals 4x plus 10 over 6x minus 18. So now anywhere there's an x, we can replace it with 0. So we're left with 4 times 0 plus 10 over 6 times 0 minus 18. And now the 4 times 0 and 6 times 0 are just going to equal 0. So we're left with negative 10 over 18. And we can simplify that by dividing by 2. And so we're left with negative 5 over 9. And that's our y-intercept. So for our x-intercept, we're only going to worry about the numerator, and so we're going to set the numerator equal to 0. So our numerator is 4x plus 10, so we're going to have 4x plus 10 equals 0. So now we can subtract 10 from either side, and now we have 4x equals negative 10, and we can divide each side by 4. So x equals negative 10 over 4. But they're both even numbers, so they simplify. And so we're left with x equals negative 5 over 2, which is negative 2.5. So our y-intercept is negative 5 over 9, and our x-intercept is negative 5 over 2. So I'm just going to draw my axes, and that way we can plot our x and y intercept before we do the rest of the graph. So negative 5 over 9, 5 divided by 9 is 0.56. So it's negative. So on our y-axis, I'm gonna put it in the middle of where 0 and negative 1 are, and label it negative 0.56. Okay, and now for our x-intercept, we know that it's negative 5 over 2, which is a little bit of a simpler number, so it is negative 2.5, a little more exact than 0.56. So negative 2.5, negative 2.5. So now we have our y-intercept and our x-intercept plotted, 0.56, negative 2.5. So now we can figure out our asymptotes. So our vertical asymptote is just with our denominator, so we're going to set our denominator equal to 0. So our denominator is 6x minus 18. So that's equal to 0, so we're going to add 18 to both sides. 6x equals 18. Now we can divide both sides by 6. Now x equals 18 divided by 6, which is 3. So we know that our vertical asymptote is x equals 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to draw a dotted line on my graph where that would be to represent the asymptote. I'm going to label that x equals 3. So now I have that. My calculations. 3. So now for our horizontal asymptote, so normally you would have to look at the degree of the numerator and the denominator, but in this case, since they are the same degree, we just have to worry about the leading coefficients. So we're going to take our leading coefficient of our numerator and divide it by the leading coefficient of our denominator. So we get 4 over 6. And simplifying that, we get 2 over 3. And now to put it into a decimal just so it's easier to graph, 2 divided by 3 is 0.67 approximately. So that's one that we're going to have 0.67 right there. And I'm just going to once again draw a dotted line to represent an asymptote. And then So that would be y equals 0.67. So now we have this so far, and from here we can just put our graph because we have our x-intercept, our y-intercept, so we make sure it crosses through there and then approaches both of our asymptotes, but of course never touches it because that is what an asymptote means. And graph the opposite side. And here we go. This is our whole graph with everything labeled. We have our vertical asymptote, our horizontal asymptote, our x and y intercept, and of course here are all our calculations.